What is up, y'all? Gage here with Wicked Weather. Today we'll be talking about how to become a storm chaser, and this will be the first video in a few different videos that we're going to make. So stick with us and let's get after it. All right, guys. So the first step in becoming a storm chaser is getting certified, and it's completely free. The very basic certification that you need is the Skywarn Storm Spotter certification. It is through the National Weather Service website. Again, it's completely free, but obviously, for one, you want to know what you're looking at. You want to know what you're kind of doing, not only for safety reasons, but to be successful. It's the very first step. So, in order to do that, you just go to the National Weather Service website and they have a whole program specifically for this. It tells you, it has a whole storm spotter like field guide and things like that that will also that you can keep with you at all times and reference. It's gonna go through safety, what you're looking at as far as the sky goes, and also it'll tell you how to do reporting and stuff like that. A part of storm chasing is reporting. Um, so, we're not just out here just all willy nilly, just, oh, storms are cool and just chasing them everywhere. Like, there is a purpose for this, and it is to help the National Weather Service get eyes on the ground and compare that to what they're seeing back, at their each National Weather Service location. Um, and comparing all that data. So it does help them a lot to be Skywarn certified and to get those reports in. So that's the very first step. Other certifications, though they're not required, they do help. Things like your Red Cross CPR and basic life saving courses. Or even search and rescue training. You can get that through take courses through FEMA or the National Association of Search and Rescue. All of those are again, although not required, are super helpful. I can't tell you how many times I've been chasing and our chase just comes to an end because we see a town get hit. Obviously, life is priority and we want to help the best we can. So we have all these certifications so we can assist emergency or first responders in, in situations like this. Again, if you're chasing and you don't have these certifications, it's probably best to just get out of the way. And there are times, even with my certifications, there comes a point where it's like, okay, I'm just going to be in the way at this point. Like, I've done what I can. There's people here. I just need to get out of the way and let them do their thing. So that does help, and understanding and recognizing when it's time to just back away and let first responders do their thing is also super important. So the next step into becoming a storm chaser is going to be basically how to read radar, how to read the Storm Prediction Center, what they put out, things like that. It's very good to have a basic understanding of some forecasting and things like that. But most importantly, it's how to read radar. It's not just looking at the pretty red and green and yellow colors on a radar. There's different types of radars that you can use and this is going to help keep you safe in the field and also help you again be successful. You need to know all this. There's plenty of YouTube videos on how to read radar. I plan on making another video, or at least Wicked Weather is planning on making another video on just basics on how to read radar. So hopefully we'll get that in there as well, and you can tune into that one. But again, this is going to be your very very basic stuff. Reading radar is essential. It's the number one tool that we use out in the field to get ourselves in a good position, but also a safe position, and just understand what's coming and getting the warning out. Again, that's another reason that we storm chase is getting the warning out early, letting people know what's coming, what we're seeing, what we can show them in the field, so they know what this storm is, particular storm that we're on is doing. So yeah, so that's going to be the next step. is literally going to be self-learning. So obviously you can go get your meteorology degree, or even a forecasting what is it, Penn State has an excellent forecasting certification that you can get. That's, if you can't afford a actual meteorology degree, um, that's probably the next best thing, and it's pretty relatively easy, and it's all online. So um, I am personally going through that currently myself, so it's a good option. But again, you don't necessarily need all these fancy degrees and stuff to be a storm chaser, though it helps. But at the bare minimum, you need to do your own research so you can be safe, and not end up being one that needs rescued in the process. So it doesn't really help too much if that happens. So do your own research. Go watch Wicked Weather. Watch us chase. We try our best to educate as much as we possibly can. Watch Reed Timmer. Watch Ryan Hall. Like all these people, all these big fancy chasers, like they're gonna help try to educate as well, as best they can, and just watching what they're doing is going to help you learn. The next best thing is to try to find a ride along. There's plenty of people that offer ride alongs. Wicked Weather has a ride along program, and it's pretty cheap compared to some of the other ones. I mean, we ask for $150 to $200 per day. It's relatively cheap to go chase with us. So if you're interested in that, absolutely reach out. It's another really, really good way to learn. What better way to learn than to get firsthand experience in the passenger seat with a storm chaser? We'll get you hands-on experience, and sometimes, depending on who you're with, it might even help you have you like help navigate or whatever. I would, which is kind of a rule, is to never go by yourself, especially when you're starting out, which I'll get into that in probably another video. But yeah, being alone isn't the best. It's always nice to have a second set of eyes, ears on navigation, radar, whatever it may be. So try to find a chasing partner too. But some of the more experienced storm chasers will go alone. But even myself, I always love having a second person in the car, especially for navigation alone. That's one of the most difficult parts of storm chasing. So, all right. So you've got your certifications. You've done your research. Feel like you are confident enough to understand radar. You're ready to get in the field. Now what? Well, your next step is to get some equipment, right? You don't need all this fancy equipment. A lot of people have, your anemometers, your weather stations. You'll see all the cool storm chasers have all that stuff on the vehicle. It's not a requirement. That stuff is for scientific research. And if you're not trying to go that route and help scientific research, you really don't necessarily need it. If you're literally just out trying to help get warning out and things like that, then the bare minimum that you're going to need is a cell phone, maybe a couple cell phones, something to help, something for communication, something to help navigate, right? And something for radar. So I have a iPad that I use for radar. That's going to be a really good thing. But other people, just use a cell phone. But just having one cell phone is difficult because you need that to communicate, especially if you're like putting in MPing reports and things like that, or actually calling in weather to directly to the National Weather Service. You're going to need that phone, and then you're also going to need something to help navigate and also something for radar. So one device isn't going to be enough. You need at least two, maybe even three devices, whether those be cell phones or iPads or things like that. I also recommend a signal booster of some sort. A lot of the places you're going to be chasing is not going to have very good signal. A lot of people use I think it's called WeBoost cell phone signal booster, and it does help quite a bit. Again, not a necessity, but things are going to be really challenging, and in the field, if you don't have it, they're still challenging even with it sometimes. But it does help, and again, I promise you that at some point, when you're in the most critical phase of needing to know where you need to go or what you're looking at, you'll lose complete signal, your radar will fail, your navigation will fail, and you'll just be in the blind. And when I say in the blind, this is where your training kicks in, right? You should be able to look at the sky and have a good idea of where you are compared to where the storm is, and which direction the storm is going. Having a decent sense of navigation also helps, but that is where your training is going to kick in, especially in those situations. It will happen, I promise. Don't know a storm chaser that it hasn't happened to. So be ready for that. And again, that's where your training, you're going to fall back on your training. So just understanding what you're looking at, and really making sure you're paying attention during those certifications. Something else that's good to have with you, as far as equipment goes, especially if you have gotten your medical background, or gotten your medical certifications, is a basic med kit. I carry one with me all the time. I have a little bit more than that. Things like a chainsaw and stuff like that. Again, if you come across downed trees, especially if a tornado just went through a town, just being able to clear trees out of the way is helpful, right? That way, emergency personnel and first responders can get in and out of those roads quicker and not have to find ways around. So just doing that can be helpful. Again, we definitely caution you on watching out for power lines and stuff in those situations as well. Power lines are a big killer after severe weather strikes. So, and they're very, very hard to see. Nobody really talks about how hard power lines are to see, especially when they're laying on a road. The power line's gray, the road is gray. It's really difficult to see. So you have to be very, very careful in those situations, and making sure power lines aren't on trees and stuff as you're getting ready to cut them, etc. So those are some more little equipment pieces that, again, are they essential? No, but like it's probably really good to have. Okay, last step, and again, this isn't a necessity, especially if you're just trying to do this for a hobby. You enjoy helping people, but don't want to get like super involved in it. You don't have to do this, but storm chasing can be really expensive. I've dropped a couple $1,000s in a weekend just chasing. You live in your car, keeping up with car maintenance, fuel, hotels, things like that. It can add up. And so having some sort of trying to get some income, right, for it is definitely important. By the way, something I didn't mention with the equipment, a camera is really good to have too. Most iPhones nowadays, though, or Android or whatever you have, are pretty good and suffice. But again, that's another reason why you need multiple devices, so you could also be taking photos, because this is one of the ways you can supplement your income. If you get awesome footage, you maybe get close and get amazing footage of a tornado, while being safe, of course. You can sell that footage, even flooding, any kind of severe weather. You can sell that footage to media outlets, especially local media outlets, and they'll buy your footage. That's one way to supplement your income and just basically help balance out the cost of fuel and hotels. The other way is just starting your own social media, Facebook, YouTube, things like that. This is going to take some time to build, so and it's okay. Just be patient as you start building it. The more you chase, the better you're going to get, the better footage you're going to get, the more you're going to understand what type of footage media is looking for at a given time. It does change. Sometimes it's flooding and fire, sometimes it's tornado. It just depends on time of the year, what they're looking for, what's going to help them as well. So you'll get better as it goes on, but social media is definitely going to be a big one to help offset some cost. It's just going to take some time to build up, so just be patient and don't lose sight of it if it's taking a little while. And lastly, just again, I've hit on a couple tips. Never go alone. One of the big things with storm chasing is always have an escape plan and managing your money. I have a chase addiction. I love chasing. I find it very hard to not go chase every single storm, right? But it's especially when you're just starting out, especially when it's just a hobby, it's difficult to chase every single storm. Don't get yourself in a lot of debt chasing. Like, try to pace yourself and chase the things that you can, and it's okay if you can't get out, right? And another tip that I have with that, and kind of, you know, on the flip side of that, everyone wants to chase tornadoes. That's it. Like, that's everyone's goal. They want to see a tornado, they want to get close, they want to warn people in front of tornadoes. That's the big goal, right? Don't limit yourself to that. Like, if you like weather, get out, go chase snowstorms, right? Go chase big water or like flooding events, fires, even, right? Fire's a whole different ball game. Make sure, again, you're understanding what you're looking at, what you're getting yourself into. Do not get yourself into a bad situation to have to be rescued. That just defeats the whole freaking purpose of this. So make sure you know what you're doing before you go out and do it. But those things also will help. And not as many people do those things. So if you want to stand out from everyone else, go do that as well. Thank you all so much for tuning in to this video. We really appreciate it. If you haven't already, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. And it helps us tremendously. And again, if you start your own social media account and you start storm chasing, you're going to understand real quickly how important that is. And it's really easy to do. It's literally just the movement of a thumb. So it doesn't cost you guys anything. So we really appreciate your support. And I will be, again, myself or Wicked Weather both are going to be making more videos about storm chasing and the ins and outs of it, like a day in the life of a storm chaser video, just so you understand what you're getting yourself into. Spoiler, it's a lot of driving and gas station food. A lot. So we will be doing that as well. So thank you all so much again for tuning in, and we hope to see you smashing that like button in some of our other videos.